Tipu Sultan's First Battle, Part 3, The Final Roar, A Prince's War Cry. Recap from Part 2. In the dead of night, Tipu Sultan had outmaneuvered General Ayerkut's secret assault. The British had attempted a covert strike on Tipu's supply lines, hoping to crush his army without another direct confrontation. But the young Sultan, with unmatched foresight, launched a swift and brutal counter-ambush in the mountain passes. The enemy was routed by dawn. Tipu didn't just win the battle, he sent a message. This war would be fought on his terms. As the sun rose on the third day of battle, the air in Porto Novo carried the scent of gunpowder and tension. The British were reeling, their morale weakened, their reputation bruised. But Tipu knew this was the moment to strike hard, to end it. Inside his war tent, maps lay scattered on the floor. Around him stood his most trusted generals, faces taut with anticipation. Tipu, his eyes fixed on the British camp in the distance, declared, "It ends today. No more shadows, no more waiting. We roar now." The plan was bold, dangerous even, but so was Tipu Sultan. He divided his forces into 3 columns. The first, composed of swift cavalry, would strike the British left flank. The second, with seasoned infantry, would push from the center to pin the enemy in place. The third, under Tipu's own command, would move under cover of artillery fire to circle around the enemy's right and crush their rear defenses. To execute such a maneuver, timing was everything. The battle began at dawn. Tipu's artillery opened fire with thunderous roars. Smoke clouded the battlefield, disorienting the British troops. The cavalry surged like a tidal wave, crashing into the enemy's flank with terrifying speed. Cannons boomed, muskets cracked, and the soil trembled beneath the charge of war elephants brought forward for psychological impact. General Ayerkut was taken by surprise. Again. His left line began to buckle under the assault. He dispatched reinforcements to stabilize it, unaware that this was exactly what Tipu wanted. With the center of the British forces now thinner, Tipu's second column charged straight into them with brute force. Spearmen, archers, and musket-bearers advanced like a wall of vengeance. The Mysorean war drums echoed through the battlefield, each beat syncing with the rhythm of the soldiers' feet. Then came Tipu. Leading the third column, he emerged from the smoky ridgeline with precision and fury. His warriors swarmed the British rear like a pack of wolves. The redcoats, trapped between 3 advancing fronts, lost all sense of formation. Chaos took over. Amidst it all, Tipu's horse galloped through the dust as he swung his sword left and right, urging his men forward, his voice rising above the clamor. "For Mysore! For freedom!" He wasn't just commanding from the rear, he was in the storm. His presence ignited his soldiers, while the enemy trembled. Some British soldiers threw down their weapons, others tried to flee, but the battlefield had no escape. General Ayerkut tried rallying his officers, but one by one, they were falling. His flags lowered, his flanks broken, his pride shattered. By mid-afternoon, the British ranks began to crumble. What started as a battle turned into a full retreat. Tipu, standing atop a hillock stained with the dust of war, saw the enemy withdrawing. He raised his sword, not in vengeance but in signal. "Stop, let them run." His commanders looked surprised. "Why not finish them? Why let them go?" Tipu answered with silence and then quietly said, "Victory without restraint is tyranny. Let them remember today, not as a massacre but as a humiliation." His men roared in approval. That day, Tipu Sultan didn't just win a battle. He defined the resistance. Word of his triumph echoed across the Indian subcontinent. In the halls of Mysore, he was no longer just Hyder Ali's son. He was a lion in his own right. A new chapter in India's fight for freedom had begun. But Tipu's eyes were already on tomorrow. As the wounded were tended to and the dead were honored, he turned to his commanders and said, "They'll be back, and next time with more fury. We must be ready, not just to fight, but to build." Because Tipu Sultan understood something most conquerors forget. A sword defends the land, but a mind builds the nation. What would you have done if you were in Tipu Sultan's position? Would you have let the enemy flee, or crushed them entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video if you felt the battlefield come alive before you. Share it with those who believe bravery isn't just about strength, but strategy. And don't forget to subscribe to YBR The Sword in the Story and hit the bell icon so you're the first to hear the next saga of history's greatest warriors. We want to hear from you. Which part of this battle moved you the most? Coming next on YBR The Sword in the Story, Part 4. Tipu Sultan may have won the battle, but peace is never permanent in a land threatened by empires. In the next episode, we dive into the decisions he made after his first victory, from strengthening Mysore's military to transforming its economy and fortifications. But every bold reform attracts new enemies. Stay tuned for Part 4, The Iron Wall, how Tipu forged a nation from the ashes of war.